This is Auditory Anthology, a podcast featuring the best sci-fi short fiction. I'm your curator, Keith Conrad. If you like what you hear, I hope you'll take the time to rate and review our show on your podcast player of choice. And be sure to recommend it to a friend. That'll help us grow the show and continue to share these stories with you each and every week. If you have a story you'd like to contribute to this series, you can visit submissions.soundconceptmedia.com or just follow the link in the show notes. In this special episode, we have the second act of our first mini-series, The Illusion of Unity. In Act 1, the human race learned they weren't alone in the universe, and our neighbors were on their way for a visit. But it turns out these aliens were traveling at sub-light speed, and it'll take 75 years to reach us. In this episode, we have to decide what to do next.
When the news of the alien fleet first broke, the world was thrown into a whirlwind of emotions. Fear, hope, curiosity. It wasn't just the experts or the politicians who had something to say. Ordinary people everywhere were grappling for what this meant for them, for their families, for the future of humanity. One of the best ways to understand how people were feeling is through the voices of those who lived through it. Back in 2025, podcasts were already a powerful medium for sharing thoughts and opinions, and some of the most poignant reactions to the discovery came from the man on the street. The following clips are from a podcast recorded just days after the NASA press conference.
So we're here on the streets of Chicago just talking to folks about what they think of the news. Aliens, they're out there and they're heading our way. We just found out it's going to take them 75 years to get here. How are you feeling about it?
I don't know, man. It's scary. I mean, coming here to Earth? What if they're hostile? I mean, what if they wipe us out? We've got kids, you know. This isn't some movie. I mean, could be talking about the end of the world. I'm thinking about it nonstop. Can't sleep. I'm just doom scrolling. And what if we're not ready? What if they're too powerful? I just don't know. It's hard to be optimistic when you just don't know what's coming.
How are you feeling about this whole alien thing?
No, I'm thrilled. I mean, come on. This is what we've been dreaming about for decades, right? The chance to meet beings from another world, to learn from them, to share what we know. This could be the start of something amazing, something that changes everything for the better. I just think about all the things we could learn, the ways we could grow as a species. I'm not scared, I'm excited. We've been waiting for this moment our whole lives, and now it's here.
Fear and excitement, two sides of the same coin. As humanity stood on the brink of first contact, these emotions were impossible to separate. For every person who feared the worst, there was someone who saw the best in what was to come. It was a time of profound uncertainty. Hey, Jerry, do what you can to make sure those voices are clear. No one is expecting it to sound perfect, though. The discovery of the alien fleet didn't just stir the emotions of ordinary people. It shook the very foundations of governments around the world. Questions were raised, fingers pointed, and in the United States, it wasn't long before the halls of Congress echoed with the sound of heated debate. At the heart of it all was a simple question. Why was it an amateur radio operator and not NASA who made the discovery? On July 15, 2025, a Senate committee convened to investigate this very issue, resulting in a heated exchange between Kentucky Senator Thomas Wainwright and NASA astronaut Caroline Vega.
Thank you for your testimony, Colonel. Now let's get straight to the point. Can you explain to this committee why it was a private citizen, a hobbyist, no less, who detected this signal, rather than NASA, with all its resources and expertise? How did this happen?
Senator, with all due respect, people have been warning about this kind of scenario for years. We've been fighting an uphill battle trying to secure funding we need to maintain our capabilities, let alone expand them. The truth is, NASA's resources have been stretched thin, too thin to cover the vast expanse of space that we're responsible for monitoring. We've been forced to make tough decisions, to prioritize certain missions over others, And sometimes that means critical opportunities slip through the cracks. We had a proposal, Senator, a request for funding to launch a spacecraft that would have mapped the outer solar system in detail, a system that very likely would have detected the fleet long before it got this close. Senator, let me ask you something. How did you vote on that funding bill?
This committee isn't here to discuss past funding decisions.
The exchange between the senator and the astronaut was a stark reminder of the precarious balance between exploration and the politics that govern it. For years, NASA had struggled to secure the resources it needed to push the boundaries of human knowledge. And now, as the alien fleet loomed ever closer, elected officials were a little more enthusiastic about writing checks. Jerry, you might want to find some patriotic music to play under the astronaut. Nothing too over the top, but Wainwright goes on for a while and it might need something extra. As the world grappled with reality of the alien fleet's approach, the question on everyone's mind was simple, yet terrifying. What do we do next? Leading the charge was Admiral Susan Harrington of the United States Navy, a woman who would become synonymous with humanity's last stand.
Good afternoon. As all of you are aware, we face an unprecedented challenge, a challenge that will require the collective effort of not just our nation, but the entire world for multiple generations. The alien fleet currently on course for our solar system is traveling at sub-light speed, which gives us a limited window to prepare for their arrival. This is not a fight we can afford to lose. But it's also not a fight we can rush into unprepared. That's why today I'm announcing the formation of a multi-generational mission to intercept the alien fleet in the outer solar system, far from Earth, where any potential conflict can be contained. This mission will involve the construction and deployment of hundreds of spacecraft, each one designed to operate in the harshest environments known to man. These ships will need to be armed, equipped, and ready for any eventuality, including the possibility that these visitors may not come in peace. But let me be clear. Most of the technology we need for this mission doesn't exist yet. We are standing on the edge of a new frontier, and we will need to invent our way across it. From propulsion systems that can carry us to the farthest reaches of our solar system, to weapons that can function in the vacuum of space, everything will need to be developed from the ground up. We have the minds, the resources, and the will to succeed. But we also have a deadline that we cannot afford to miss. The alien fleet is coming, and with each passing day, they draw closer. We have 35 years, and our mission is clear. We have to meet them before they reach Earth, and to ensure that whatever their intentions, humanity is ready.
Admiral Harrington's words marked the beginning of a new era, an era defined by urgency, innovation, and the understanding that humanity's survival now hinged on our ability to rise to the challenge. She wouldn't even be alive when the alien fleet arrived, but she was building a future, one where our children and their children would be ready to face whatever might come. Jerry, let's skip any inspirational music with Harrington. I think her words do well enough on their own. The work began with scientists, engineers, and military strategists from every corner of the globe coming together to lay the groundwork for a mission that would span generations. But as the clock continued to tick down, the question remained, would it be enough? What followed was one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history, a global effort that spanned decades, tested our limits, and ultimately redefined what human beings were capable of achieving. The scale of the operation was staggering. Factories across the world were retooled for the task, producing everything from the hulls of the spacecraft to the advanced propulsion systems that would carry them into the depths of the solar system. Entire industries had to be created from scratch, with every nation contributing to the effort. As the deadline loomed, the pace of work intensified. Factories operated around the clock, with workers pushing themselves to the limit to ensure that the fleet would be ready in time. The fate of humanity was hanging in the balance.
I've been here for 20 years. I've never seen anything like this. We're on a 24-hour schedule. No breaks, no downtime. It's just go, go, go. We all know why we're doing this. My kids, your kids, they're the reason we're here. Every bolt we tighten, every piece of metal we weld, it's one step closer to keeping them safe. It's hard, sure, but it's worth it. We've got just a few more months to get this done. After that, it's out of our hands. The ships have to launch. Every single person here is giving it everything they've got.
The construction process was a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Across the globe, people from all walks of life came together, united by a single purpose: to ensure that our fleet would be ready in time to meet the alien armada. Do what you can to clean up that audio, Jerry. I know it's tough, but it's more real than any interview we could find from somebody talking in a studio. After years of tireless work, countless sacrifices, and the unwavering determination of people from all corners of the globe, the time had finally come. The fleet was ready, and the first group of astronauts, those who would carry humanity's hopes into the vast unknown, were about to embark on their mission. On a crisp morning in early May, the world watched as the first group of astronauts launched into orbit, where they would rendezvous with the fleet assembled above Earth. These men and women were the first to venture into the unknown with a mission that could determine the future of our species.
Good morning. Today marks a significant milestone in our journey. The fleet you see assembled above our planet represents the culmination of years of effort, innovation, and international collaboration. But this is just the beginning. The mission will unfold in several stages. First, the astronauts launching today, they will join the fleet in orbit, where they will undergo final preparations and training. This includes familiarizing themselves with the new technologies and systems that have been developed specifically for this mission, many of which are being used for the very first time. This is just the beginning. The mission will unfold in several stages. First, the astronauts launching today will join the fleet in orbit, where they will undergo final preparations and training. This includes familiarizing themselves with the new technologies and systems that have been developed specifically for this mission, many of which are being used for the very first time. Once all preparations are complete, the fleet will embark on its journey to the outer solar system, where they will intercept the incoming alien armada. This mission is unlike any other in human history, not just because of its scale, but because of its uncertainty. We do not yet know what awaits us when we reach our destination. The technology needed for this mission has been developed with one goal in mind: to ensure that humanity is prepared for whatever may come. From advanced propulsion systems to new defense capabilities, every aspect of this mission has been designed to give us the best possible chance of success. But let me be clear, this mission is about exploration. It's about understanding who or what is out there and what their intentions are. We are sending our best and brightest, not just to protect our planet, but to seek out answers that have eluded humanity for centuries.
Dr. Carson's words encapsulated the hope and uncertainty that defined this mission. As the first group of astronauts made their way to the fleet, the world held its breath, knowing that the next steps would carry us closer to the unknown than ever before. Hey, Jerry, make sure the transition from Dr. Carson's voice into mine is pretty smooth. In fact, that might be a good place to add some music. Nothing too extravagant, though. The launch marked the beginning of a journey that would span years. A journey into the depths of space to meet an alien fleet whose intentions remained unknown. But as the astronauts boarded their ships and prepared for the long voyage ahead, one thing was certain: humanity was united in its resolve to face whatever lay ahead. Okay, I think that archival audio is really going to add to the atmosphere. Man, I grew up watching those videos of the press briefings from Dr. Carson. I don't think we can tell this story without them. Well, that's it for this episode, Jerry. In the next one, we'll tackle everything that's happened in the past few months. Thanks a lot for your help. Appreciate it.
Auditory Anthology is curated and produced by me, Keith Conrad. Your narrator is Darren Marlar. Be sure to check out Darren's award-winning paranormal podcast, Weird Darkness, available at weirddarkness.com and your podcast app of choice. In our next regular episode, we'll have Prison of a Billion Years by C.H. Thames. In the future, society perfects time travel, so naturally they use it to send prisoners back to the primordial Earth. This decision has some unintended consequences. And then, of course, on the Monday before Christmas, we'll have Act 3 of The Illusion of Unity. You won't want to miss it.